I found that with my clients, mindset is so much more important. You can teach someone even to the letter what to do over the next week.
Yes.
But unless they've got the mindset right, they simply just won't do it. They find a way to self-sabotage or fear gets in the way, whatever it is.
Or even subconsciously self-sabotage.
That's what I believe.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of them. I think I might get hurt for saying this, but I mentor and I have worked for me a lot of women, and because they are so intelligent and because they do think of all the different angles. See, us men, we're very simple-minded, so we've got one idea in our head at a time. With women, they've got like 9 ideas in their head at one time, and what happens is because of that, they doubt themselves a lot, and subconsciously they self-sabotage all the time. I see it happen all the time. Like they're so worried about things that are not relevant to the current situation, and so that ends up fueling a lot of self-sabotage. So like my advice to a lot of women that I work with is just simplify it. Dumb it down like a male would. Just really dumb it down, because you can become your own worst enemy.
Absolutely. That's where most of my clients come from, with there's belief systems and stuff get in the way, and self-sabotage from everything from weight loss to entrepreneurship.
Yep. And
it's once you sit people down and they look at it, they can really see it. But I think a lot of it's emotional, and that's probably why women especially are much more emotionally aware.
Yep.
And they probably rely on their emotions more than men do.
Definitely.
That's why I think they sabotage more. They just have that their heart will take them somewhere rather than find their mind.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think as well, men just have a way of dumbing everything down. It's like you'll be with your wife or your girlfriend, and I don't have a wife, but like they'll say, someone will die or something bad will happen, and they'll be like, so was Noel alright? I'm like, yeah. Did you just talk about it? Yeah. They're like, what did you talk about? Well, watch the footy. That's talking about it. So I think like it's courses for horses, for courses, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just getting back to personal development, I've got a question about, are you big on books, reading books?
Yeah. Books and personal development.
Have you, if you had to give a gift to someone, as far as a book, or have you given a gift? What's the one book you've given away as a gift?
I've given a lot of books away as gifts. That was my thing. I've sold 1,000 houses in real estate, so I used to be really good at picking a good book for my clients. And it was a great gift because you could inscribe it. But probably the sort of main books that I recommend people read, especially if they're trying to find, what it is that their purpose is as well, is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Have you read that?
Yeah.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is with Deepak Chopra, the 7 Spiritual Laws, and I think they developed one a bit more business. I did the 7 Spiritual Laws, the normal course, but there's like a book that's the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and I think that might be a bit more business related. But fantastic book, and a piece of literature. My brother gave me, as an 18-year-old boy, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think it's got the right balance between a bit of spiritual and business. And last but not least, probably from a biography point of view, Losing My Virginity with Richard Branson is just like you read that and you think, geez, I've got to have a crack, don't I? The guy nearly died like 10 times. I don't know if he's got divine intervention or what, but it's a great book to get it into.
And for me, that's just the ultimate sort of role model for me, because he just has so much fun in everything he does. And that's all I'm looking for, is to have fun in my life. And as well to be successful, just such belief in himself to go, and authenticity as well. And I think you said it a couple of times, being authentic in yourself. And it's something that you probably learn as you get older, only by making mistakes.
Well, it was ironic because there's a gambling commercial called "If It's No Longer Fun, Go Home," and I think I heard that as like a 14-year-old boy, and it stuck in my head like, if it's no longer fun, go home. And I think I have made a large portion of my decisions in life, in business, personal, spiritual, mental, physical. If it's no longer fun, I go home.
Yeah, cool.
Good, bad or ugly, it's been a philosophy I've had, and it's got to be this far. Like, I'm very happy, I'm very content. Could I improve some life? Of course we all could, but all in all, I live an extremely content life. Extremely content life, which I think that's the challenge. Because everyone always feels there's these inadequacies and yearning, and I've got to make that money, I've got to buy that car, I've got to have that girlfriend, I've got to get that wife, and I'm like, Just let go of the outcome a bit, embrace the uncertainty, and go from there.
Yeah, well, I think with my clients, it feels like they've sort of set goals on money or whatever it is, but there's not their real goals. It's more like a social status or what society thinks.
Correct, yes.
And once they get in touch with what they really want, then things just, money comes and success comes and relationships come because they're just they know what they want and they're confident with it.
Yes, definitely.
And that's a big part. Well, that's probably a difficult thing to do, but that's I think the most important part. Know who you are and what you want first. And it sounds like you're already on that path.
Yeah.
So one thing you were touching on there was sort of happiness in the job, and I want to lead into stress as well.
Yeah.
How do you handle stress, or what gets you out of this when you're feeling stressed?
So my brother was, and hopefully, if he sees, he's going to yell at me, but my brother was bald by my age, right? And my dad's bald, right? And my brother has turned into my dad, like just the way he stresses about stuff. I'm like, I laugh in his face. Like, he will be yelling at me, telling me how tough things are, and I'll laugh at him. I go, mate, if it's really that bad, sell your multi-million-dollar real estate business, sell all your property, sell everything, and just go live on a beach somewhere. Like, if it's really that bad. Like, the reality is that that's what part of being a self-employed business owner is. You're responsible for people. So that pressure you feel is a privilege. And if you talk to me about stress and how the coping mechanisms I have, well, number one, that I treat pressure as a privilege. So if you feel pressure, you're in an advantageous position to change the fate of your life and the people's life around you. So start thinking that pressure is a privilege and treating it that way. The second thing I do is I try and practice present moment awareness. So what I mean by that is that if I worry about everything that happened yesterday and everything that's got to happen tomorrow, then while I'm here with you now, I can't be my best. So, it's a really good way to sort of, to manage stress. The next thing I think I've been able to do, which it's taken time to do this, is I've been able to compartmentalise, So, and I've done that by travelling the world. So what I mean by that is, like, this time last year I was walking through the death camps in Birkenau and Auschwitz, up in Krakow in Poland, right, where the Nazis killed over 11 million people, right? So, like, when you walk through the gas chambers of Auschwitz, like, everything else is pretty easy. Like, how bad could it possibly get for us, all sitting here in this beautiful country that we're in, where people were dragged out of their homes, beaten, raped, head shaved, shoved into trains, sent to the end of the line, worked to the death, and then gassed, and then cremated. How bad could it get? Like, is it really that bad that guy doesn't want to talk to you? Is it really that bad that you're having an argument with your wife? Is it really that bad that you crashed your car or you lost your job? Or, as long as there's food in the fridge and that roof over your head, be appreciative and live your life in gratitude, and it will help you deal with the stress a lot better. And then probably the last thing I've been trying to perfect, which I got from Deepak Chopra, which is living a life in forgiveness. The gratitude and forgiveness. So, like, those, a lot of people talk about forgiveness. It's hard. It is hard. People carry so much, by my language, but bullshit. That happened years ago, and I'm like, let it go. There's no point in holding on to that, because we have so many day-to-day things that can stress us out. So carrying stuff that happened with you 20 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 2 months ago, or 6 months ago, like, if you're carrying all that, plus all the stuff you've got to deal with today, it's impossible. You have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, that's a huge part of what I do. Probably half the work I do is clearing stuff up in the past, even more, because it'd be surprising, even successful people, if they're looking for a goal, and they've got stuff in the past that is holding them back, if that goal is going to get them close to that similar situation they were in the past, they just won't. That's when sabotage comes in, because they're scared of doing that same thing subconsciously.
Definitely.
And once you can clear that stuff in the past, and that's that book you said before, Agreements, is pretty good at talking about.
Yeah, it was... I read it years ago, but it's be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. That's really important. That's the chapter where it says, like, we're so worried about what everybody else is doing. Like, you think, oh, why is he, why did Noel do that to me? Noel's probably got his wife's at home, his kids are sick, you know, he's got all those dramas going on, but people take it so personally, everything that happens in the workplace or wherever and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, the biggest thing I took from that book is that if someone says something to you and you say that they made me angry, the truth is no one can make you angry.
Correct.
They said something, the way he describes it, you've already got a cut and they just open it up by their words. You already sort of were hurting from it.
Correct.
And
There's a bit of truth behind every joke, isn't there?